The 2024 Future Games was a spectacle. Hundreds of college coaches, dozens of commitments, and that count keeps rising, and the action on the field delivered. For the first time, Team Carolinas was split into North Carolina versus South Carolina, and it didn't disappoint as these natural rivals faced off. Let's go inside the matchup in our game rewind. The first year that North Carolina and South Carolina were split up into two teams. Sammy, how different did that make it when it came to putting these teams together? And what was the vibe like with the natural rivals facing off?
Well, it was a little bit different. In the past, we were looking to add 8 to 10 guys to the roster, and obviously this year, looking to fill in a complete roster our own this year, which it's also enjoyable, but obviously a little bit more more stressful to put that roster out there. But I tell you, it made a little bit more to it because I think South Carolina always has a little bit of a underdog to the state in general. And I think I think the players feel like you get overlooked a little bit. So, and I think the players had a little chip on their shoulder when they went out there. And I think it made for it when they were matched up against North Carolina for game one. And I think they wanted to show what South Carolina had to offer.
Plenty of talent in both states to fill rosters, and really a lot of it comes down to our scouting staff working to pick players that are the right fit to be there, the right fit for the college coaches, and something we're constantly looking at. Yes, there are high end players available, but there's also those guys that haven't peaked yet. They may not be in that top five, top 10 in the class, but you look down the line and go, man, this guy may be a top three round guy in 6 years. And so having that type of talent to kind of tease coaches about what the future is important to both states as well.
The two teams trade scoreless first innings with Cameron Tarkenton striking out two. What did you like about the state's sixth-ranked righty going into this matchup?
Yeah, a lot of helium to Cameron as a guy that came available midsummer, put back on the recruiting trail. A lot of interest. Guys had not been in there to see him. Huge spring from Cameron, especially late in the year where he led Cardinal Gibbons to the East Region Final in North Carolina. Um, the arm's big. I mean, he's an elite mover. The hips are fluid. They're oily. He kind of coils up a little bit on that backside, and then the arm speed is real. He's one of those guys when you look at him and go, man, he's got a chance to get a lot of outs right now. But it's really, where is he going to be in 4 years? Where is he going to be in 6 years? That's extremely intriguing about his prospect.
Walker Cox makes quick work of North Carolina's bats in that first. What did you like about the arm, and it ultimately had him starting things off for South Carolina?
Walker's a young man, obviously a very, very projectable frame. And he was a young man that we had seen over the high school season. We saw early on in the summer, and he came to a Team Carolina trials, probably it wasn't even a month before that, 3 weeks before the future games. And he was a young man that we got a chance to see not long, but we knew that the lower slot, the sinker slaughter mix. And, we knew if he was going to be in this, but he's going to be a hard guy to square up, upper 80s guy with that sink and mix in and break him on a changeup. But Walker went in there and commanded the zone and filled it up. And we knew he had a tight pitch limit that he was going to be on just due to the fact of the amount of innings he had thrown leading in, and he did his job and filled it up. And with that slot and that sinker slaughter going in there, I think he was 86 to 89, filling it up in there. He's going to be a tough guy to square up.
After a scoreless first inning, both teams score 3 runs in the second inning, including a 2-out RBI single up the middle from you for the game's first run. Take me inside that first AB and kind of how the mood changed after you guys go up from leading 3-0 to it being tied 3-3.
So that at bat, I came in, wanted to do my job. I had run around second. I wanted to find a way to get him over. So I was just trying to select pitches to hit. I got a first pitch curveball for a strike. Didn't want that. I wanted a first pitch fastball. So I'm down 0-1. Then I get a fastball, I believe, for a ball. And then he comes back with another breaking ball. I foul it off. So I'm 1-2, and I get into my 2-strike swing, stance foot, and I see spin, and I just put it in play, put it hard.
Marchand drives in 1, and then this is just the start of a big day by Ethan Offing as he doubles home 2.
He first at bat, big double, had another at bat. I think 4 RBIs in the day for him. So he kind of right off the bat, he was only going to be limited with a couple games because he had another engagement that he had to go off to. So he made his presence known right off the bat. But what a special talent Ethan is, and then he showed some primetime bat speed off the bat with facing a really good arm from North Carolina.
North Carolina plays 3 in the second, starting off with 3 straight singles from Kaysen McGinnis, Addison Rowland, and Harrison Alshie. How did you feel the guys responded to that point after trailing South Carolina?
Yeah, it's always interesting to see what the lineup's going to do because they're really good hitters, but they're getting one at bat versus the lead arm. And with those 3 guys, having them somewhat bunched in the order and being able to kind of feed off each other, they play together in the summer with the South Charlotte Panthers. So, there's that ability to kind of build some rhythm in the at bats there. And I felt like our guys competed in the box throughout the entire night, and it's a difficult situation because they're seeing really good arms. They're getting one look at them, and some of those guys in their first at bats, they took a fastball that was borderline and bang bang. They saw 2 elite slider, 2 big time breaking balls, and the at bat's over. They're really having to fight uphill. But I felt like we calmed a little bit after getting the first couple of hits, and guys started stringing together some really good at bats.
The hits and the runs, it just kept coming from South Carolina. They combined 10 runs between the second and fourth innings on 10 hits. You got a nice piece of hitting from Nathan Caldwell, the second, delivering an opposite field 2-run single in the third, and in the fourth, there's that man again. Offing had another extra base hit, this time a triple for 2 more RBI. What was it like for you to just watch this offense rolling?
It was kind of special. You got to talk about a little bit of the how South Carolina was. Right off the bat, I think Palmer Hornet had a good at bat early on where he got a big hit and he kind of showed a little fire. Obviously, I think he got the hit off the guy with one of his teammates, and showed a little fire with a fist pump, and then Slade Bird another base hit into right field, and he kind of turned to the dugout and kind of got waved the fist pump to the dugout, kind of got him going, but it was almost like these guys had been playing with each other, and it's kind of fun to sit over there and watch the fire and the competitiveness and watch these guys kind of roll through it, and watch the talent, kind of go in a big time environment.
Brady Marconi comes through with a run-scoring double in the 5th, finishing with 2 RBI. There's a lot to like in North Carolina's 5th-ranked catcher.
Yeah, he's been a defensive first guy since he kind of entered high school. He's not a hideout guy. Audrey Kell High School, big arm, athletic behind the plate, receives well. The bat's been what's kind of developing. He had a lot of waggle in his hands in the last year. He's calmed that down. You can see a little bit more confidence, a little bit more stability in his pre-pitch setup into his load, and then there's strength in the hands. One thing we were a little bit shocked by was how well he showed on the showcase day. With his numbers, the ability to drive the baseball, to show exit velocity, to show the ball travel off the bat was something for him. I think it just checked more boxes for him. And then the big thing for him is translating that into games. And, we saw that in that inning right there with that double to left center, and he hammered that ball.
2 more runs via Charlie Scott single and a Marchand ground out. This was just setting the stage for Marchand. The 7th-ranked player in South Carolina goes to work on the mound. It was game over. 2 innings, no hits, 4 strikeouts, just 1 base runner. Combine that with a 3 RBI day at the plate, and Sammy, this 2-way absolutely showed out.
Yeah, Taj is a special player. It's a young man. Obviously, we get a chance to watch these guys throughout high school, kind of going all the way back for us. Our preseason, one of the preseason tournaments we kind of helped put on with Shipyard here in Charleston. He kind of we got a chance to watch that early on for us, where he showed out on the field and kind of came in and closed out a game early on. We got to watch this in the future game. He showed his ability to defend, showed it with the bat, and then comes in and closed it down with the fastball and the breaking ball, and just the competitiveness and athleticism from him. You talk about that 7th rank. I have a feeling that's going to be creeping up. Here's when we get those rankings re-released here soon. But Taj is a special player, and I think his phone was going to be burning up here when August 1st came around.
Just wanted to throw some strikes. Struggled a little bit with control this summer, so I just wanted to come in, be able to pound the zone and get some weak contact, get some hitters out.
Player of the game after that 13-6 win for South Carolina goes to Ethan Alfin, the top-ranked shortstop, fourth-ranked player in the state, gets to wear that bling. What were the rumblings you heard from the scouts in attendance after that performance?
I think a lot of people were kind of with Ethan kind of rolling in, right? Like they knew some of the tool set was there, right? You kind of seen some things, and it was always like, well, is he going to kind of put it together, kind of a little bit, right? And I think you saw it right with Walker Cox on the mound with that sinker ball. There's a lot of ground balls early, and Ethan got a chance to field a lot of ground balls, balls out of balls to his left, had to come in on a couple, and he was able to make all those plays, right? So you got to kind of see a total package in it. He handled velocity, hit some all speed. So you kind of got to see a total package. So I think it was for him, it was nice to show out, to be able to showcase his skills, not only from a showcase standpoint, but also to be able to do it in a gameplay and do it. So I think that was a little bit of it was good for him to be able to do it, not only show in a showcase, but also in a game. Because, yeah, right, people knew the tools. And was he going to be able to do it in a game? And I think that was good for him, where a lot of people go, hey, but I think a lot of people don't put that together. There's times you go see him in high school, and he maybe just came from a spring football practice. That was kind of good for Ethan to showcase that, where he's not running from a football practice or anything. He's getting to be a baseball player from that setting.
Well, the first edition of the Battle of the Carolinas goes to the Palmetto State. Can we get a rivalry trophies or something in the works?
Yeah, you know what? We're bragging about it. We're already talking about the Palmetto State dominance going on here, so I'm all about trying to let them know that we'll go ahead and put the trophy and let it sit down here in the Palmetto State for sure.
We got to wait until North Carolina wins, then we'll come up with something. I may have something in my bag. We're just waiting on that. I'm not giving Sammy the first one.